That's the branch that we'll be focusing on throughout all these episodes.
Yes, there are so many branches we are going to focus on. Things that affect man, because man and his activities are controlled by the laws I talked about in nature. So we'll be focusing on things like careers. You know, you just go to school and then say, I'm going to be a doctor, and yet your career may not necessarily be a doctor. You might be an engineer. But because of ignorance, you are doing that because you saw Joseph doing very well in medicine. And then you start failing. How do you start failing? Because that's not your career. In ordinary religion, they call it a calling. What is your calling? Yeah. So we'll be studying careers of different people. And that we will do when we are studying what we call the rhythm of the soul circle. The soul circle, you see, everybody is born at a specific date in a specific month. Yeah? And so once you are born in that specific month on that specific date, then your careers are these ones. You may not succeed very well in that other person who is born in another month in a different. So careers we'll study. Number two, we are going to study the rhythm of health and sickness. You know, some people don't believe in planetary influences, But when you read about the three wise men from the east, when they heard Jesus was born, they had to use the star to guide them. God did not just put those planets there for fun. They are for a purpose. A thing like the sun, if I may just touch in passing, we'll do it in details later. The sun, one, science knows that it provides vitamin D to the person. People who don't get the sun very well,
at the end of the day, do not have vitamin.
Yes. So the sun provides vitamin D. The same sun has what we call the nous, in simpler language, the air elements. It supplies the air elements to the body of man, and then the foods we eat from the earth are the B elements. So when the two meet, it is positive and negative, well balanced, on the duality of nature. Understand? Okay, we'll go into that later on in details. Another thing we are going to study in this course is going to be I've mentioned the careers. It is going to be also on the health and diseases. You know, this is controlled by what we call the lunar cycle, the moon. In the past, our parents knew that if you wanted to deworm your child, you needed to wait for it at a certain position. Then when you deworm your child, all the worms go out. But when you do at a certain period, you just waste your medicine. Also, if you ask the fishermen, there is a certain period when the moon is in a certain level. When they go fishing, they have a big catch. But there is a certain period when they go fishing, they come back with nothing. That's the influence of the moon.
The same moon.
The same, yes.
It's also being used for our ladies' things. I don't have to mention them.
Yes, I want to come to that.
Yes.
The moon controls the fluids,
Yes.
all the fluids in the universe, whether it is in the ocean, in the river, in the human body, and so on. All the fluids. That's why you see high tide and low tide.
Right.
Those who have studied the almanacs of the moon will tell you the high tide is going to be at this period and the low tide will be at this period. So is to the ladies. The fluids in the lady's body are controlled by the solar. And not only that, the solar, not solar, the lunar. The lunar controls the sexes of the child you get.
Interesting.
Yes, some of you chase away your wives because your wife cannot give you a son. Unfortunately, there's no chromosome that will give a son in a woman. The only chromosome they call the Y chromosome is only in a man.